welcome to this video tutorial with me, Wayne, from DrClean.co.uk. In this tutorial we're going to be ironing a woolen dress that has an interior lining. Now, as we say, this dress has a lining in it, and the lining actually goes right the way into the pleat, so we can't take this lining out and do it separately to the actual dress itself. But even more than that, we always look at the garments we're going to do before we do them. We can see that prior to this iron, some damage has occurred, not damage so much, but stretching and warping has occurred along the zip where it's been ironed poorly, I would suggest. And we're going to try and obviously recover that. Now, this particular mix of fibres is something like 95% wool, 4% elastane, which is that very stretchy material, so it's adding stretch to it. And that makes this particular wool quite difficult to actually iron. Now, once again, if you are doing this and you don't want to shine the wool, you may want to go over it with a cloth and make sure the cloth is there and you're feeling underneath, and so you won't shine anything. But we actually don't need to do that because we obviously have speed reservoir iron. Now, with everything, as we said, always in all of our tutorials we start with a plan. This hasn't got sleeves, but we're going to still go from top to bottom, and in this case we can actually do the yoke. But it's very important when we're doing the shoulders to actually get it in something like the position it's going to be. What we don't want to do is have this out of position and iron it like it has been ironed before, poorly, so that we get creases around it. So we're going to use our fingers in a particular way to try and make sure that this particular one now fixes the old areas that it has and doesn't improve anyway. You see there, if you look, I'll put on my glasses to get a closer look, we've actually now taken out those creases that were in the top. Very lightly going on the fabric itself, just easing that shoulder. But the other shoulder, you can see there's a slight bubble there. We've actually flattened that down and made it so that the roll of the lining doesn't come over the roll of the actual fabric itself. Go to the other colour, the other shoulder. Let's just get this straight. Again, what we're trying to do is get enough on the ironing board so we can actually do the area we want to do without doing any bits that aren't actually flat. Just a little fold there. Both hands is so important. Suddenly we have a completely flat area. Back side, the final part of this. Again, you can see what we've done is we've taken down that bulge that happens just there. While this is on, I can actually try just to repair some of this damage that's gone before. It's coming out. You see there that I've completely repaired that damage. Just a little bit. Very little pressure. Just a little pressure to take those creases that were in there out, and they're nearly out now. There's just a little residue of them that we can see from before. And because that worked, I'm going to try the other side and do exactly the same thing. So, hold that down, just squeeze it in, just that underarm section. Now we've got it completely flat, and that looks really good. With skirts, you'll find that what you have to do is little bits at a time, because what we don't want to do is do this creased bit. So we've got to make sure the lining is absolutely straight underneath by using your hands as irons. How much lining can we get straight depends on how fitted the actual dress is. This is quite a fitted dress, as you can see. What we can do here is that little section. We've done this top section, notice. Just that little section has been done. I'm going to go right the way round the board, doing the same sort of area. Pull the line down a touch. That's what we're doing. This section here, that's all we're doing. There we go. Move it on a touch. Now we've got a dart by the bust there. And if you look, the only way I can get it flat is to actually pretend there's a bust there, or a breast there, if you like. And make sure all the lining is gone underneath in terms of creasing. And all I have to do is take it from there, up. You see we've shaped that quite nicely around there. Now we've got to come the other way. Now you can see what's happening here. We're getting some bobbling, which we don't actually want. Well, that's the shape of the breast there. So we'll come up, and there's another crease there that's been put in. So we'll take that out. Literally, hold this in place on the top bit. I'm always letting the wool dry off and cool down before I move on. Just got to that section there. We'll put it back over. Okay. Now we'll get it back over the board. Some patience with ironing is rather sensible. You don't want to rush things. Okay, now get this whole section line underneath. So you dig up to there, and now we're doing this bit. Just take the fabric back. Let's ease out dry. I've got on all these seams. Tends to have a little bit of puckering, which is going to get out, but I don't like it. Seeing that type of thing, many garments. I'm just taking that puckering out. Take some lining back out as well. Last section that we can do closer to the end. You don't want to do that pulls at all. So you can see how I can see how they puckered this dress, because it is very easy. As you roll up, it does tend to roll up, pucker in. But just a little bit of care, and you actually won't pucker it at all. Now we've got a completely flat zip area. Alright, just going to get that out of the way. And we're down to the bottom of the I'll do the vent itself once I go right the way round. You can, if you want at this point, not include the lining. I could actually shove it away. But as I've done the rest of the lining, I don't see the point of that. start. Make sure you just steam that in to make sure it doesn't bubble. And back to a seam. You can see once again the seam is a little bit puckered. It generally is that someone just hasn't waited, let it dry, hasn't done it, no stretching it whatsoever. Back to the last piece. Use the contours of the board if you can, just to make a contour on the dress. And again, just do a little bit at a time. Now we're back to this area, which is the final area of the dress. Make sure it's absolutely flat. This vent is absolutely square before I touch it. Just do it. There, touch. You have time before you put the iron on a garment. As soon as you put the iron on the garment, that time is gone. Straighten up the lining. You see just a little bit of steam, a lot of hold, just waiting for that steam and heat to dissipate before I take it off. And now the dress is finished. We've repaired any damage that was done previously. So if you look at that, we've got a little bit of rise on here, but there's no puckering at all. And that dress is nicely done.